This video, I'm going to try to tackle the computers on this curved wall. So I just want to get a sense here of how many we've got. It looks like we've got 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 9th row has less. I can't guarantee we're going to get that many on there, but we're going to do what we can. And as you can see, we've got a few of them that sort of stick out or are on the floor. So we'll deal with that as best we can. So okay, we can use any of these as a reference. I do actually have this close-up of what we're going to be creating. So the way I figured we would do this, and the statistics are there on the side. I just want to make sure the shadow is off. So yeah, we only have this much space here, and so my dimensions are a little bit off, but what can you do? I'm just doing this for the fun of it. I'm going to select this, Control plus a bunch of times. That's the very top there. Well, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to break this off. So I've got that. It goes up to there, and it goes in behind. I just want to see if I was to get rid of that last one. Yeah, it shows through a little bit. Alright, at any rate, I'm going to slash the focus just on that. And I'm going to go ahead and, actually I need to be here. I'm going to put that in a collection, and we're going to call that, I'll just call it computers for now. And I'll get all this stuff organized down the road. So I just want to focus on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to need some vertical, I might as well put a few in. I'm just going to do it like that anyhow, so it bends a little bit better if need be. And I'm going to bring my 3D cursor right to there, and I'll also set the origin to geometry just for the heck of it. Okay, so the way I'm going to start this is by bringing in a plane. I'm going to rotate X90 and start scaling this down, and we're going to sort of just pretend for a moment and see roughly how many we could get. Now, what's the shape of this thing? It looks like it's kind of wider than it is tall, so we could try that. And we want to get a bunch of rows of these, and I want 5. So let's just go ahead and start with an array here, put 5 in, and see if this can be done. We obviously are going to need a little bit of space in between them. So can I do it like this? And it's got to go into the wall a little bit. I mean, if it was like that, would that give us enough? I just want to see, I know they're going to be curved, but what if I put another array and I go up and zero that out? And how much space is in between them? I mean, there's a decent amount of space, probably more than what I've got here, but let's just go ahead and let's see what 8 does for us that way. That might curve properly. I don't have to have the same number, although if I have that, I get rid of that one and that one eventually. So let's start playing with this. Let's just turn that off. What do I want to do here? Okay, so let's see. Let's go into this one. And I'm going to extrude it back quite far so that I can pull a couple of these things out. And I'll do some texturing on the sides in Substance Painter. It may not look exactly like the thing, but we'll do something. So let's go just back to here. And let's recalculate outside if need be. Let's take these, and I am going to curve it a little bit, right? There's a little bit of a curve there. So let's just do this. Let's go Control B, and let's put in, like, let's do 5, because we're not going to have too many of this in real geometry. We'll have instances, so maybe that's going to be okay. And I think to do the shapes, see, this one is quite round and this one is not as round. I think I'm just going to do booleans. So I'm going to select there and bring my 3D cursor there, look from the front, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to bring in another plane and rotate X90 and sort of get the positioning of this thing. Like, I may not have the walls the exact same. What if I did that and cut this, separate those two pieces out? Let's try that. Let's break that out. So we got this piece, and this piece. Here, let's move them out a little bit. Okay, but I need some space in between, right? Just want to have a look here. Right, I need that bar there. I kind of want to make this a little taller, which it may not be what I want to do in the end, but I'm gonna go for it. Let's say I want this kind of the same, like this thickness here, this width, similar to that. There are more exact ways of doing this, but I'm just going to do it this way anyhow. And oh, it is a 3D object, isn't it? So let's, do something like that. I'm sure it'll be probably okay. All right, so this one I'm going to select. With those vertices selected, I'm going to press Shift Control B, and I'm going to start pulling. And I may press C for clamping so they hit and stop. Oh, I didn't want to finish it there. I wanted to do this because I may want to roll up. Okay, so that's, I'm going to roll up a bit like that and do that. And then I'm going to take this one, Shift Control B. This one I could probably get away with I could probably do 3. I'll do 5 just because why not? And do something like that. Okay, so I'm going to join those and go into edit mode and extrude them back and make sure that they go in. It doesn't have to be very far, but I can change that. I'm going to recalculate outside in case they were flipped, and I'm going to do a Boolean like that. So select this. I'll probably just get a hole because it's open, so that's all right. And I don't need any of these modifiers on there. I just want a Boolean, and I want to select that. And actually, I better make sure. I have a feeling. No, I don't. All right. Well, where am I? Did I apply that? Let's hide those. Yeah. Okay. I'll bring those back. I don't need those anymore. Okay. So with that, it's not looking too bad. You get a few weird cuts. You can always fix that up if you want to. But I'm going to do as many selections as I need to get the whole outside, and then I'm going to Control B. And I could probably get away with just 3, really. And this is a computer, so it doesn't have to be too super round. And then I'm going to Shift Alt. Yeah, okay. Do I want to do something different here? I might. Oh, this is only 4. Yeah, darn it, I wanted 5. All right, let's see if I can live with it. Maybe I'll just take one of these points and that one in J and see what I can get rid of. Actually, hang on. And can I get rid of this one now? Yeah, I can. Okay. Maybe that's good enough. So a couple of clicks there. Oh, I got this one. Yeah, this one down here. Maybe I'll take this one. Geez, that's got 5. J to join them, not F to make a face, and dissolve that edge. And then, okay, let's go around here. Stop playing around and do the thing. Okay, Control B, pull, and am I getting stopped somewhere? Merge by distance. Sorry, I'm going to do that again. I just want to double check. I want to try this one here. Okay, that's going good. So what's the deal here? Make sure that's not there. Not selected. Okay, that's fine too. All right, so here we go. Finally. Okay, let's go back. There's 2. 3 ought to be enough. Yes. Now, of course, if I do this, it's going to be a little odd. But what I will be doing anyhow is select this face and this face. Press I to inset. Just pulling it a little bit. We'll have that. And as far as this goes, hopefully our weighted normal and normal's auto smooth will clean that up, and it has. So that's going to be fine. Whether or not it's the right size. But let's just go on and build this thing. And I can always tweak it later. So what I'm looking at is a number of these circles. Now they have 7 of them. We'll see if 7 fits or less than that will fit. And to do that, I'm going to use a UV sphere, and I'm going to bring that down to 16. Scale it down. And look from the side. I'm going to rotate 90. And I'm going to cut off the back. I'm going to come up to there and get rid of those. Before I do anything else, I'm going to select that edge there. I'll come back. E and S and come out a bit, just for a bit of a base for it. E and come back. And actually, I think what I'll do is I'll take this and I'm going to slope it down. Now I'm going to bevel this with 3. And I'm going to bevel this with 3. Okay, now I can scale it here. I can shade smooth. Let's see what we got. So, okay, so we're going to have to scale it. Put it in here. And let's just see what happens if we start arraying it. Let's try to go for 7. Let's see if I can do 7 even. So it's too big for 7. If I do this, there's not much space in between them. How much space have we got here? See, they're pretty tight. All right. So I may be able to get 7. Is that a good number, or is that too many for this? Well, let's pull them in and decide. I mean, 5 might look fine as well. I'm going to try 5 and increase the distance. Well, what if I do 6? Six it is, guys. Okay, are those flipped? Oh. Okay, that's okay. And when it comes to unwrapping this, I would probably put an edge or a seam. I think I'll just mark that as a seam there, and I can do a different material here compared to this if I want to. But that's how I'll unwrap those later. So what else do we need to do now? All right, so we have those, and then we have these things. I think I'm probably going to do very similar as those, just shrink them down. These I'm going to do a bit different. So let's just grab one and array it. So let's come in here, Shift D to duplicate, pull it down. Let's go for 3. But I'm going to make them quite a bit smaller. And they're going to go roughly in the middle. And back here. That might not be right. Might need more space. Yeah, I can give them more space than that. And what I'll do is I'll try to sort of get this one in the middle of those. That's pretty good. You know, that kind of thing. Keep saving along the way. And now we need to do some switches, just simple switches. There's 3 of them there, then there's this one, and then there's these, maybe slightly different shape. So let's do this. Let's just bring in another plane and scale it, rotate X 90. This is going to go around there. I'm going to do the base of the switch and then the switch itself. I just want to get a size. So, I mean, because you see these, what looks like maybe indentations. That's going to be a pain to do. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do like, okay, and how high up did they go? Well, they're about the level of those anyhow. So I could take this one, put it up there, and have room for 3. Okay, well, let's just start. So I'm going to extrude back, get rid of that back face, take that, push it in. I'll bevel those corners in a bit. Hold Shift and GY, okay, like that. And then I'm going to take this one here, Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, P to break it out for the time being. I'll scale it a little bit, but I'll scale in the Z. I'll try to get it kind of even so it looks like it's got a platform on it. Scale it in the X as well. And then I extrude out just maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit more. And then I'll take this end and I'll just bring it up. It's going to be real simple, like that. All right, and then that would fit on there. We'll get everything beveled, and that'll be the switch, but we'll round it. So if that's the case, let's come back out here, and we'll get rid of that back face. We won't need that. And I think the way I'll round it is I'll select that face, and Control B, and I'll just use 3. And I'll Shift Alt and click in edge selection, Shift Alt and click that edge and this edge, and bevel that with 3, like that. Just make sure we're not overlapping. And that could be that, okay? But let's come down to this. In fact, let's Shift H to focus on these guys. So for this one, I'm just going to grab the edges in edge selection. That one and that one. We'll give that a bit of a bevel with 3. And then this top part, we'll bevel that down. No back face, good. And then I'll take this and I'll push it on. Just want a little bit of the back showing. I'll shade smooth. I won't worry about shading at this point. And I think that's probably okay. I'm going to join that. Alt H to bring that stuff back. Let's have a look at that. Let's take it and recalculate outside just in case. So let's try, should we use an array just for now? An array in the Z coming down. Zero that out and have 3 of them. And let me just see if it looks like they're in the right kind of position there. Kind of to about the halfway point, maybe more. So I could maybe take this and scale in the Z a little bit. And just have those. And there's another one down below, so I'm just going to duplicate it all, bring it down, but get rid of the array. And have that one separated a little bit. Maybe I will reduce the distance. See, I just don't want them to touch. Yeah, I can do something like that. All right. So it's at least it's similar anyhow. And okay, what would be next? Now we've got a big dial and a couple others. Just before we do that though, why don't we take these, Shift D, G, and let's rotate 90 minus actually. Oh, didn't do that very well. And what if I scale these in the Z? They just feel like they're kind of narrower. And can I don't think I need to make them different. I just want to see where they go down to. They go down to about the bottom level of these, and this thing is a little bit higher up, so it's not like I have to line these up. All right, I could do something like that. I'm thinking that I can make them a little narrower. There's a middle. It doesn't have to be in the middle. No, it's not. It's off underneath that one there almost. I'll start with that. I'll start with that anyhow. Okay, I want to start getting into some bigger dials, so I'm going to bring in another circle and go for something like 20 vertices. Rotate X90. I'll just start working with that. I'm going to extrude up a little bit and in, maybe not so much. Come on, this one's going to be pretty straightforward. Put a face there, and then I think I will inset a bit and do that. Maybe I'll scale it in. And I was thinking I would take this just like I did before and put it down. I'll bevel that with 3. I'll bevel this with 3. And I'll bevel these 2. And I'll take this and I'll eye to inset, pull that in. If I shade smooth it, looks like that. Let's bring that in. Now that might be too big. So it kind of goes from a little bit past this white one. It kind of spans all 3 of those, you know, in a sense. Yeah, this isn't going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be something. How are we doing? Yeah, okay. And then I can put white in there. And then what I thought, let me bring the 3D cursor to there. And what I thought I would do is to do something on here. See what I'm getting at? Nothing earth-shattering, just something to do. Let's try this. Pull that down. I can even get rid of that. Just going to pull that in. Looks pretty wimpy, to be quite honest with you, but let's scale that in the Z. Just don't want it to necessarily hit those. Do I want it above? See, I have no clue what that is. It looks a little bit like something that just sticks through both sides. But I was thinking of doing this. Let's try this and see if it works. Let's focus on this and just bring that in. Get rid of that. Select this side and this side. Bevel this just like the switch, and then take this and bevel it down. I might put a few more so it's sort of arched over. Bring that. I didn't mean to do that. It brings everybody back. So where am I? Computers. And this stuff. Oh, what a pain. Can I just hide? No, that's part of it. All right. I better throw this stuff in the computer one, or I could lose it again. Let's move that into computers. Hide that and hide that. All right, I guess we're back in business. Where was I? What was I doing? Yeah, all right. It's a little dial. The only thing is, if I bring my 3D cursor there and I switch this to 3D and I take this and I wanted to rotate this dial, you know, could potentially hit those or hit that. I think I'm going to take these and scale them in the Z a little bit. Let's move them down just a touch. And take these guys and just move them up a little bit. I realize I'm missing those, aren't I? Alright. Is that them there? No, that's not them. Alright, let's bring everybody back. Where are my little guys? There they are. Okay, I missed those. Move those in there. Okay, that's better. Okay. Alright, anyhow. Alright, so the next one is this kind of thing. And that, and I might be able to build some of it off the same ones. So what I might do is just duplicate this over. I'll scale it down, and let's select. Let's actually not go so deep. GY. Oh, maybe I gotta go out one more. No. All right, here, let me just rebuild some of this. Let's come right up to like near the top, get rid of that, and take an edge and fill it. I just want to see what I've done. Where am I? Let's get rid of that. All right, at any rate. Okay. So this I'm gonna pull it back in a little bit and then scale it down. All right, that one's beveled, so I'm going to bevel this one. just 3. And this one I'll just do an inset like that. And it's not on the ground, so I'll do that. So did I make it smaller? Yeah, it's smaller. Okay, so for this guy, we're going to select that. We're going to bring in a plane again and have it narrow like that. Rotate X 90. All right, like that. Maybe a bit more. We're going to scale that in the Z until I think it goes past. Let's just go ahead and extrude it down. I'll get rid of that face, and I'll get rid of not that one. These two faces. Take this edge and scale it in the Z to sort of bend it in, and I just can't tell that well. And it looks like it's got a groove in it, but I don't know how much detail I want to do. I'm just going to take these and scale them out a little bit. Am I getting them? I got the wrong one. That one and that one. I'm going to scale them in the Z just a little bit. Okay. So now I'll select this edge, and I'll bevel that with 3. Okay. I'll select the whole thing, and I'll just E and Alt S and C. I'll pull it out. Come on. I'll just come out like that. Let's Shift H and get rid of this face and this face. I mean, yeah, I don't think I need to do more than that. Just bevel this stuff. I did it again. No, I didn't. Okay. But that's not the right height though. I want it like that. That's okay actually. If I bring those in, I start changing the angle, but that's okay like that, I think. I'm going to join those and recalculate. So we got that guy. I just want to look at the relative sizes. I think I could probably make it smaller. In fact, maybe on this one I'll just grab this and I'll just pull it in. It could be a little bit taller like that. Okay. And let's do one more. Maybe for this one though, we'll just grab a circle. Shift D, pull it out around the same size, maybe a little smaller. I'll break it out. And we will come up a bit. And we will come in a little. And then we'll come out. And this one will scale in like that. F. Same thing. I to inset. Pull it in. Extrude back a little bit. Scale in. Take this edge. Pull it down. Bevel it with 3. Bevel it with 3. Bevel those. And take this and just do a quick I to inset. Okay, so we got those. Just turning on the shadow for a moment to make it look a little nicer. And I don't like how deep that is sitting in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take those and join them. Okay, something like that. Or let's see where we're at here. So I got those. Let's do this, and I don't even know what the hell that is. So what I was thinking we could do is let's come in here. I'm not going to unwrap in this video. Pull that down, break it out. I'll take off the array for now. And how about we'll give it a little bit of a base, but we'll just bring it up. I have to make a face. Let's take this and extrude it back. Let's flip this if need be, and let's just give this a bevel like that. It'll be this kind of a thing. Okay, let's bevel that with 3. And just bevel that. Like that. I'll get the position in a minute. I just want it smaller. Maybe taller. But let's put that in there. And then let's array that 4 times, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this is kind of our own design to a certain extent. Okay. And I can break this out. So I'm going to go ahead and, just for ease, I'm going to apply some arrays and join things up. And then when I need to come back and work on this and put seams in and stuff, I'll just do that. So is there that one? Okay. I'm going to merge by distance. I got rid of a whole bunch of vertices. That's a good thing. Let's see what happens if I do this. Maybe you can insert a key card in there or something. Let's try. Just get something that would fit in there. Like that. But I want it much narrower for what I'm thinking of doing. I don't know how narrow I can get it. Let's Shift Control B and pull, and we've got snap on. That gives me a total of 5. I'm going to leave it at 5. Let's try E and S. Come out like that. SZ. I'm going to bring it out like that. And then I'm going to take these ones here. And I'm going to scale X0. And these ones, scale X0. This is a little bit too big for what I want. Oh, I think I got an extra face in there. Can I scale that in the Z? How will it look? Yeah, maybe. I'm just going to push that back and then take this and push it back. I think I'm going to have a little trouble beveling with this edge here. So maybe what I'll do is take these, I might need a bit more room is all I'm saying, and scale them in the Z, just to slide them down like that. So I can come in here, I can take that one, that one, that one. Do I want it to go all the way to there? And that. That's 3 there. And then that whole outside. It's not overly smooth, but that'll work. And if I take this and I join it with did I do that? Okay, let's get this out of there. Let's not have that joined right now. Join that. That's better. And I get that on there. Double checking here. Yeah, okay. Let's take everything and I'll recalculate outside and take that one and flip it. Okie dokie. All right, save. There's our computer. We can do some bolts, and so we can do some stuff on the side in Substance Painter. And if I Shift H, one of them is, 4,500 vertices. Here's what we're going to try to do. Let's just, while we're here, let's try an array again. Let's see if we can get 5. with a bit of space. It might end up being something like that. Now you can see just with having 5, I've jumped up to 22, 22.7 or 0.8 vertices. So this is not a great way of doing this. Then I have a bunch going up, and then I have multiple of these panels. So that's all well and good. What I'm going to do is take this whole unit, and I really want to bring everybody back. Let's do one more time that array, because now I've got this stuff in there. I'm hoping for 5. I can make these. I can shrink this down a little bit. All right, so that I can separate them. And if I look from here, I might be able to do it. That might be okay. Oh, yeah. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get rid of that. You are going to hide out underneath. So I'm going to take you and just bring you down there. And we'll never see you again. I'm going to take you. I'm going to call you computer 0. Is that a 0 or an O? I don't know. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and just bring in computer 0. And it'll be like that. I'm going to set the origin to the 3D cursor and set the geometry to origin, so it's right there. And that's an instance. And so have a look at this 10,000 here. So I'm going to start positioning you guys and hoping for the best. And probably switch to having just this and slash. And I can get rid of that if I want to. So let's say I go there. I'm just going to start rotating and seeing what I think about this. And I will bring back the other stuff because you know, stuff like that will happen. So where's the floor? I'm just going to bring it up and say. Yeah, I mean, in this, I think it's kind of crazy. Some of these look like they're almost embedded into the floor. Maybe there's some stuff under this deck. I don't know. But I'm just going to do this kind of a thing. So find a position that I like and say OK. And I mean, you can array instances when you use empties and stuff. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to duplicate it once I got it the way I like it. So I'm just going to get the approximate depth that I want, like that. And then I'm just going to start duplicating this. And let's focus on that again. Oh, what happened there? So this is all in computers. It's really with the computer panel. Let's just go ahead and duplicate that out and see how it looks and if I have to space them out more. That's not bad. Okay. I'm still at my 10,000 there. And this one can really be hidden. Okay. Okay, so I got these guys. And what I'm going to do is, I think for now, then I'll slash key to focus on those. And I will just take these guys, look from the side in wireframe, Shift D and G. I just copied a whole bunch of them, all right? But my polys haven't gone up because I'm using instances. Something like that, maybe. So it's not exact, but you know, I think it's going to be good enough. I hope. Let's just keep going. Let's have a look at how it's going. Okay, that's 4 rows. I can keep going. So something like that. And I take this one and I delete them. That's about right. All right, now that should be computers with the panel, which has nothing to do with the original computer 0. Now if I start moving this guy, it changes everything, so I don't want to do that. So you stay there, Mr. Computer 0. Now, so that's good. And you'll notice I'm still at my 10,000. All right, although they all look very similar. So what I would do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn on the array. I'm going to get rid of the shadow. I'm going to turn on the deform. And one thing I had noticed is I need to do some work on the floor as well. I'm going to need to throw in some edge loops so that it curves better. So I just did that. I think I'm okay on the other side. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to select that. And I'm going to Shift D to duplicate. I just duplicated a whole row of computers. And my polys only went up a little bit because of the plane there, the curved plane. And then I'm going to try to find a place to put this that works. And I need to make sure that it goes in behind this bar and that it you know, it hits the wall. And I'm going to take this and I want all of these ones, I shouldn't have deselected, all of these I'm going to put that into a new collection. And I may have to stretch them a little bit. And this is going to be, this is actually going to be computers 2. This is going to be computers 2 because this one here is going to be computers 1. Computers 1. Okay, so far so good. Computers 1, computers 2. Let's try taking computers 2 and duplicating that down here and rotating it and seeing if we can get it to work for us. Okay, I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit. Now it looks like I'm gonna have to stretch these just a little bit. So I'm going to do that. Okay. That's not bad. All right. This one, I may have to do a little bit of touch up on this. Probably okay, but just the way that turned out. It's okay if they're at slightly different heights too. It makes it look a little bit less, you know, repetitive, right? Okay, I'm gonna call this computers 3. We're getting there. It's a little painstaking and it's not perfect, but it's okay. You know, I'll just have a couple of these and then slightly. I can switch. I should be able to switch to normal. Is that going to do it for me? Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. Let's go ahead and bring that back though. And let's see. Okay, I got the right one. Let's go for one more. I think you get the idea. I just want to see how well this stuff is going to fit. I think it's computers 4. It's possible that some of these also will need to come up a little bit. We'll look at the bottom. I'll just, you know, we'll get them all. You can get it all lined up and everything as perfect as possible later. But I mean, you know, at least we're not using, you know, tons of polys. These are all repeats. All right, I won't do any more right now, but I mean, we've barely gone up. And let's see. Let's see, where is computer? Which one is it? This one. Just want to bring it up a little bit. Okay, I won't do too much more tweaking on this, but for example, if I wanted to take this one, I could do this and I could push this one out just like that. Now if I wanted to make any changes to the dial, I would have to take this and I can, let's see, let's just take that, let's just focus on that. Control A, make instances real, and then object relations, make single user object and data. Now my polys have gone up because I made a change to this, but I can come in here now and I can select this, say Shift S, cursor to selected, and say my 3D cursor there, and I can select this and this, make sure I'm on normal, and if I rotate in the Z and I rotate this to there, the other ones are not affected. So in other words, if I want to have different lights on, let's say for this, these will all be the same. I can do it like that. So I can take that and pull it out. I can come down to this one, GY, take that one, GY, or I could take this one out, although there won't be a hole behind it. Maybe we'll take one of these ones, GY, that kind of thing. And I can put them on the ground as well. So let's just switch back, put on the shadow, switch over to our matte cap, and have a look at this. Just before we do, notice that I'm only at just over 30,000 and I've got all these computers in here. Okay, it's lagging a little bit from the shadows, but that's how it's looking. All right, hopefully you think it's turning out pretty decently. Sorry if that was a little bit of a run around doing it that way, but that's the way that I figured I could get it to work. All right, so we'll come back and we'll do some more work on this, and eventually we'll try to get into some texturing and see what it looks like. All right, take care.